Hello, my name is Kajsa. I'm a voice actor, stage actor, and singer. Have you ever wondered what it's like to work as a voice actor? In today's episode, Dominique Pålsson Wiklund, one of Sweden's most active dubbers and voice actresses, known for her incredible, chilling vocals, will discuss what it's like to work in the voice acting industry in a small country like Sweden, and how she took over the Swedish voice for Rapunzel in the animated spin-off series. You're listening to episode 4 of Voices and Visions Behind the Scenes. Yes, hello Dominic and welcome to this show.
Hi, and thank you. So nice to be here.
Yeah, nice to meet you, finally.
Finally, yeah.
Yes. Can you please introduce yourself for the viewers?
Yes, so my name is Dominique Pålsson Wiklund, and I work as a voice actress. I'm a musician, so I write and compose and produce music, and I also perform it. So I don't know what that makes me, but that's what I do for a living.
And how did you get into the voice acting industry? Because you dub a lot, like every day.
Yeah, I do. No, how I got into this industry, I always know what dubbing is, because my mom has been doing it since I was a child. And also my brother, he started at age of 4, so long before I did, actually. And I was around 18 when I got into it. And it was through a director called Liseberg who asked me to do a voice audition for, I don't remember the character now, but it was a character in a series, or a movie actually, a Disney movie called Lemonade Mouth. I don't know if you remember it. Have you seen it?
When did it come out?
Well, I was 18 by then, so it was like 12 years ago.
2012
or 13 years ago. So that was a long time ago. Time flies. That's crazy.
I don't think I ever watched that.
No, it wasn't like a Disney movie. It was online Disney, So it wasn't like on the cinemas and stuff. So it wasn't a huge one, but that was my first one, and I was 18 when I started. So yeah, that's how I got into this industry, actually.
Fun. And how did it feel to dub for the first time?
I have such a strong memory, because I known the first time, the technician, he was so upset with me because, when I was used to being in a studio, I've been recording music and everything, but when it comes to the expressions like shouting, I remember the technician, he was so upset with me because he was like, if you're gonna shout, you have to shout. Don't be embarrassed. And I was like, can I just listen to what I just did? And then I heard myself doing the shout, and it was so modest, And maybe because I wasn't shy, but I was maybe nervous, and you don't know like in what range you're like putting yourself in, like I don't know how to explain it, but I heard myself shout, and I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I have to do it. Like, I just have to put myself out there, and I did. And that was like the breaking point for me to like, I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna be nervous. I'm not gonna be embarrassed. I'm just gonna do it. So that was my first time, and it was the actual audition for that part in Lemonade Mouth. So he got upset with me, and he was like telling me like, if you're gonna do this, you have to do it like all the way. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it all the way. And from that day, I've been doing voiceovers like every day.
Did Ronny Rönnbäck, or who was it?
He's called Magnus.
Oh,
Magnus Vegas. Oh, he's a legend, and he's so good. And I have him to thank for this, like, putting me out there.
Yeah, thanks for not like nudging me away from after this failed audition. Not failed, but like, I didn't do it the best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so important when you do this. You can't be embarrassed. You can't be like, no, you can't be embarrassed. I don't find a better word for it. You just have to. Along the way, I've been doing so many characters who I never thought I would do, like animals, creatures. Like how am I gonna do the sound? And you just find your way, but you have to let go of that. You can't be embarrassed, you know? Yeah. So I remember my first time very well, actually.
Yeah. And
Don't hold back.
no, don't hold back. And how have it affected you growing up in a family who dubs a lot and being close to theater and music? Sort of.
It has affected me. Mostly, I would say it has inspired me and shown me it's a possible career. So today, I make a living on my voice and my music. And even though I started dubbing late compared to other actors in the industry, I probably picked up a lot about how to use my voice. I mean, my mom has been doing it, my brother has been doing it. So I would say that the majority of the roles I do and play today are both like boy characters. And why I got into that is because of my brother. So I have him to thank, actually. I unconsciously like studied how he talked before his voice broke and started deepening. You know, Leon?
Yeah.
Have you heard characters? Yeah. Leon Selling is my little brother. He's 9 years younger than me. And he was doing like all the boy parts when he was young. So when he broke and when his voice started to break and deepening, I basically took over his roles. So yeah, he got too old for them, and I was like, I can copy his voice and do that. So that's when I started to do the boy characters, which I mainly do today. So that's like how it has affected me growing up in a family who's been doing it as well when it comes to dubbing.
Yeah. And like, are your voices very close to how he sounded before his voice started to break?
His voice or my voice?
Yeah. When you do your voice as a teenage boy, does it sound similar to how Leon sounded?
Maybe not like the character, but what I studied is like how he ended his words. Sometimes you talk a little bit shorter, like a little. It can depend on boys and girls. It depends. It varies, like how they talk sometimes, and so it's not like his character and of voice and my character voice is like similar in that way. It's more like how you end your words. Does that make sense? I don't think so. It's like it's so hard to explain, but it's like how you pronounce things and how you words and how you maybe you shorten some words instead of talking more fluently, how you intonate and stuff like that. So that was the thing I copied from him, I think.
Yeah. You have such a broad vocal range, like it's crazy sometimes.
Yeah, I do various characters, like old ladies, women, mothers, teenagers, young children, both boys and girls. So yeah, it comes in handy when you're doing this job.
Exactly. And did you watch a lot dubbed TV shows or movies when you were younger?
Actually, when I was younger, I barely watched cartoons because in school I would go to the theater with my mom. So mostly I watched plays that she played in. So I basically followed her to work. It wasn't until my little brother was born and my mom completely changed her career. So it was by then I started to watch his shows, like in the background. So they were on. He was watching children's shows, and I was like, this is. I mean, I watched like Totally Spies and Pokemon when I was younger on Cartoon Network. Was it Cartoon Network? I don't remember, but I've seen like some of the shows from when I was younger, and movies, of course. But I wasn't surrounded by that kind of content when I was younger. So I was like at the theater, hanging backstage with my mom when she was on stage. But it wasn't until my brother was born I started to like, oh, this is like listening, and in that way I got inspired. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I was so starstruck by Melke Duberg. You know him?
What
He's such a good
roles
actor.
have you done? I recognize his name, but I can't remember what.
No, he's such a talented dubber, and he did like some play shows, like this character in a specific show called Jesse. I was like, who is this character? Who is this guy doing this character? And I'm like, I need to see him. So when I was with my brother, leaving him at the dubbing studio when he was like 5 or something, I was sitting in the sofa waiting for him, and I just recognized the voice of Melke Duberg sitting next to me. I'm like, are you doing this character in the series? And it's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm such a fan of you. And by then I hadn't started to do voiceovers myself. So I was just a fan to begin with of others.
Yeah, starstruck.
I was so starstruck. Yeah, he's so talented. It's crazy. So no, I didn't in the beginning, but I did towards later on. Yeah.
Yeah. And what is the most challenging aspect of in the music and voice dubbing industry?
Oh, they're so different. Challenges are fun to begin with. I mean, they push me forward and make me more clear-sighted and clear-sighted about who I am and where I'm headed and who I want to become. When it comes to music, I would say it's about personal expressions. And the challenge is standing my ground and creating and producing what makes me feel the best in relation to what the major players are willing to invest in and demand, you know? And in dubbing, the challenge is like hoping not to be replaced by AI.
That's
jokes
so
aside. But of course, I shape my characters, but there are more guidelines to follow when it comes to dubbing, since it's like mimicking an existing character, you know?
Yeah.
So that can be challenging, but also a lot of fun, I would say. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So it varies. Yeah.
Yeah. So music and songwriting. Did you study music in high school or university? And when did you know you wanted to become a songwriter and artist?
Become an artist. I don't see myself as an artist. No, it's just such an unfamiliar word. I actually studied at a school called Rytmus. It was like in high school. We don't have the same school system. In Sweden, we call it Gymnasium. So that I studied music in when I went to my Gymnasium called Rytmus. And I never planned to become an artist. I've always been writing and producing for others. So it wasn't until one of my songs that I've been writing for myself. I was like, these songs that I've been writing, I will bring to my grave. No one can ever hear them. It's for my own sake. So it wasn't until one of those songs ended up in an HBO series. I don't know how. But it wasn't until then I decided to release that song and more music I've done for my own use. So yeah, I decided to release it under my own name. So that's when I guess I became an artist. But unknown, like I'm so unknown. I'm like, yeah.
But you will
I don't know if people know
eventually,
who I am.
I think.
I'm working on it, but I do it in my own way and in my own like time frame.
And that's
Yeah.
how you should do it.
Exactly.
Yes.
I agree with you. Yeah.
So, what inspired you to take this leap to publish your songs? You mentioned briefly, but like.
Yeah. Since I released many songs under different names over the years, no one knows it's me. It's like it's different releasing my own music under my own name. It is. Because I felt like my own music could reflect who I am more accurately, you know? So when something feels authentic and genuine to me, it's not hard. It's not hard, and it feels so natural to represent myself. So those who don't like what I do, they don't like have to listen. You know what I mean? It sounds so like if you don't like what you're hearing, but I think that's so wonderful with music. If you don't like anything, you can just like everything is so reachable today. You can just put on Spotify or any streaming platform and put on something else. So if you don't like my music, or you can just listen to something else. And yeah, what inspired me to take a leap, just to follow my heart and what I want to tell and what I like. And it makes it so much easier, I think. Am I just like blah 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 blah? Do you copy?
Yes, I do.
But I mean, yeah. Yeah. I would say that.
Yeah, it's just a big step to take that sometimes, because sharing your personal things you put so much passion behind, it can be hard sometimes. Because myself, I'm a bit afraid being judged, like
Okay,
of not
yeah.
being good enough. And I don't know, have you ever felt that? Any pressure?
Judged by who?
Like the people who are listening, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I see what you mean. I felt more judged when I was performing someone else's piece or song because there are like expectations. But it's like telling a story. It's like if I want to tell something I've been through, if I have like the gift of words just by talking, which I apparently don't, it's like I own the story. I know how it's gonna be told. So you can't like say anything about it. And if I believe in it and if I feel comfortable in my story, that's what I was talking about. You can always listen to something else if it doesn't suit you. So I'm happy as long as I'm able to do what I love and express what I feel is most genuine to me. Not being selfish or in any way, but other songs, I mean, there's so many talented people out there who can do like whatever, but my stories, I'm like the only one who can tell them. And I think if you think like that, you won't take the criticism as hard because there will always be people who don't like what you're doing, you know? And who will say, oh, okay, this could be recorded in this way. You should use that devices, or you should do it in this way. There will be as many opinions as people in the world, and if you're going to please everyone or like please yourself, that's the only thing I landed in after taking that step of releasing my own music. And ever since, I'm never nervous. I'm like, listen to this, and some are like, I don't like this. I'm like, good, listen to something else. I like it, and it's my story. And also by playing live, I can feel like I can reshape this musical world. Like if I released a song sounding in one particular way when I play it live, or if you're ever gonna play it live, you can just like let it reshape. Do you see what I mean? You can play with a guitar, you can play with piano, you can do a whole totally different production. It's live, you know? Gosh, do you copy? Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yes, I am.
I'm like all over the place.
It's okay.
But I see what you mean. The to be scared of being judged, but that's why it's so important to follow your heart and do what you can do best. And that is what comes from your heart and what you and what like the things that you enjoy, and when you feel like, oh, I feel so good at this musical world or in this character, or so just like try to follow that and listen to, like, do I like this, or is this my voice, or is it someone else? And if it's someone else, try to find yours. It takes time. I'm super old today.
You're very
so many
wise. Wise?
Old and wise. I'm 30 years old. So, I mean, when I was younger, so many people were like pulling me in different direction. You should do this, you should do that. And I've been like, oh, it doesn't feel right in my stomach. My gut feeling is like, no, I shouldn't. And I've been taking my time to just like find my inner music.
So lovely. Which genre do you primarily focus on when you're writing your songs?
Okay. Sorry, yeah?
And what message do you want to convey through your music songs, lyrics?
So that's the luxury of working on everything myself. That no one is telling me what I should create or not to create. So I completely free in my creativity. And so there's like, I wouldn't say there's a specific genre that I focus on, because I totally write what I feel like or feel for. And I love that. So some people say it's like, oh, you write pop music, you write blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, maybe. I do what I feel for. So what's important to me is that even if I write about heavy topics, I want to include hope in the songs, like some light and a sense that it can be turned into an experience. So every song carries an energy, and once I've moved on in my life from that, the song remains, which is beautiful. But if I have to dive into that world over and over again when performing, I think the hopeful part helps me do it more easily. So, like, rather than staying in something destructive. So, I want to give myself like power, strength, and joy, the space to feel and to be totally myself. And I really hope others feel that when they're listening to my songs. So yeah. The question, what was that? Like, if I have a message, yeah, I want to tell things, I want to tell my story, but I want it to feel hopeful as well. Like a little lesson. Yeah, I would say that.
And where do you take your inspiration for writing your songs? Do you usually combine your art interest as well? Because I've seen you draw like paintings.
Oh, you seen that?
Yeah. And do you also combine that interest with your songwriting? Do you take inspirations from like art also, perhaps?
You know what? I get inspired by everything. My own experiences, if it's like films, events, friends, family, I see my art as a part of, it could be like what I cook for dinner. It could be like the activities I choose to do and try. And it could be like how I communicate with different people to understand and to be understood. Creativity could come from like anything. So when I say like I get inspired by everything, I really mean it. So like it's the same with the things I paint. I'd say the common thread is that I completely free myself in it. It's like I do what feels right and what gives me anything good, and whether it's like making me grow or if I just feel joy. Yeah. So I combine everything. If it's like my paintings, my music, what I do on a daily basis. Yeah. As long as I'm free.
Yeah, put a little bit of Disney things into my songs.
Oh, I get so inspired by the things I do. Yeah, during my voiceover hours. You get what's the word for it? You get the worlds you enter and everything you see on a daily basis as a dubber. It's like you would never guess all the worlds you enter, you know? And that's also so inspiring. If it's the songs, the colors, how things are put together, stories, everything. My mind, my brain is like all the time. I'm like, oh, I should write a song about this. Oh, I should do this. Oh gosh, I should use those colors for my painting. So yeah, I get inspired by everything.
That's so lovely. Which of your own songs are you most proud of so far?
Oh, it's like that's so hard to say. It's like choosing your favorite child. I like them all in so many different ways, depending on which mood I am in. I can't choose. Is that a boring answer?
No,
I can't choose.
Gotta choose them all.
Oh yeah. I choose them all. Is that like a Pokemon song? No, gotta pick. No, I'm gonna pick. No, choose them all. No, catch them all. Okay, my bad. Is it okay to drink?
Yes.
It's a soft drink from my friend's grandmother. Yeah.
Yep. I really love "Thank You," that song.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
I'm so glad to hear.
Not many have talked about that. I've seen. Or I know you're not well-known artist, but like when I see your posts, I like barely hear anything from "Thank You." So
exactly. That's my like least listened song on Spotify. I love that one.
yeah.
It's a very I'm glad that you like that one.
Yeah.
It's very close to my heart.
I love the piano beat, and like I'm a ballad person usually, and
yeah,
I like heavy emotions while listening to songs. So I was like, oh, this vibe is such nice.
I'm so happy to hear you. I'm releasing a new song. I uploaded it today. It will be released the 1st of November. It's a ballad, and I hope you like that one.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's called 3 a.m. and it's about my grandpa who passed away. So it's a heavy song. Yeah.
Do you mix and master your own songs by yourself? And which DAW would you say is the best to use for that particular thing?
I do, I work in Logic. And I always been. And the only thing I haven't fully done myself is mastering my songs or mastering, which various people have done for me. Mostly a guy named David Pontvik. He's a really good technician. He is a dubbing technician, and he also records work for commercial recordings, like voiceovers. So he's been doing that. And yeah, I mean, to answer your question, I like Logic, but I know some people prefer like Pro Tools, Ableton. There are so many programs. It's just like what you get used to, So I mix, I record, I do everything in Logic.
Yep, I use Pro Tools.
Yeah?
Yep.
I try that because it's easier working towards the US. Some people work in Pro Tools there. What do you find? What do you think about Pro Tools?
Yeah, that's one of the best DAW for what I'm doing, since I'm doing a lot of fan dubs and covers. So
the dubbing industry use Pro Tools.
Yes, and Cubase. Also.
Oh yeah. So you work in Cubase?
No, I work in Pro Tools, but I've heard that other dubbing studios in Sweden sometimes uses Cubase also.
Maybe you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're
right about that.
That, and yeah, they used Cubase there and Plint or Koan.
I never went to the other side. I mean, I could be technician, like since I mastered that, but I I find it funnier to dub.
Yeah,
So I never
exactly.
went on the other side. Like I stay here. I stick to dubbing.
Yeah. But you can take maybe one work for as a audio engineer there.
Maybe, yeah. Um, when I have more time as well.
Time is money.
Time, time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
So I don't know how to explain this. We have a television show, Lotta på Liseberg. How do we explain that to?
Lotta på Liseberg, I would say, is like a family show broadcast on one of the biggest channels in Sweden. So it's like a show where they invite artists to sing along and sing their songs and also sing along with the audience.
Yeah.
Could you say that?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and I saw you live when you sang.
Oh, you did?
Yes. Oh no, no.
Were you there?
Oh no, not there. Oh, sorry. I meant
Oh, like you were?
Sorry, I'm like.
Oh, you watched it on television?
Yeah, I watched it on television live there.
Mm-hmm.
And I really loved your performance.
Thank you.
And how did it feel to walk up on that stage and sing in front of many people and it was also broadcasted to, Sweden?
Oh, yeah. You know what? That was actually my first performance after releasing my first release song, Superwoman. Everything happened so fast after I released that song, from like releasing it to getting my first gig as an artist, as Dominique. So my first performance there, I mean, it was broadcast. I should have been nervous. I remember I wasn't. But what was fun though is like, when I finish a song, when I record like in the studio, in a writing process or whatever, I don't listen to my song after I release it. It's like I release it and then it's there. So the Superwoman song, I recorded it in a hotel room in New York City, many years before this. And I wrote it and I recorded it and I like produced it in the hotel bed. So I didn't sing it afterwards. That was like the only time I've been singing that song. So when they call me to take place or like be part of this, take place, no, what do you say? Like be in this show, Lotta på Liseberg, I was like, oh, how fun. And I thought, I know this song. I wrote it, so I don't have to practice. It's live band and everything. I'm like, it's my song. I will remember it. So when we were rehearsing, it's called in Swedish genrep. I don't know the English word for it, but like the rehearsal right before you go live, I just stand there and I don't remember my lyric because I haven't been singing it like for so many years. I'm like, shit, I don't know my song. And the backup vocals, they're like filling in. But luckily, when we went live, when it was broadcast, everything was like, I did it right. I remembered it, but I was like, shit, I don't know my song. So I was a little bit nervous not remembering when we went live, but I managed to sing it correctly. Yeah.
And it ended very well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So, time to talk about voice acting.
Voice acting, yay!
So, what does a typical day look like in the dubbing studio for you? And do you have any fun memories you want to share that have happened?
Typical day. I work for various studios, and a typical day I visit like 2 to 3, sometimes 4 studios, sometimes more. Yeah, and it's not only dubbing studios, it's also voiceover studios for like commercials, radio, and TV. So yeah, that's why it's many studios. Generally, what's fun when or what was the question? Like fun memories? Like a fun memory from a session? have to think about that. Maybe it's like when you misunderstand, when you read like when you read a word, misread, you say that a word, and it ends up like very wrong. I can't really talk about it here, but it can be so wrong, and that happens a lot. Like some words you read, they mean the same thing, but you can intonate it differently. And I think I'm reading it right, but it's totally wrong. And that always ends up in we're like laughing, and then you have to come back to the character and everything. But that's like the funny parts of that can occur in a session, I would say.
Do you have any bloopers as well? Like,
Oh, we do. But I mean, the security and everything, we're not allowed to save or bring the material home or anything like that. So it's a living in the moment experience, you know.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yes.
But from back in the days, it was easier, and we could re-watch things like, oh, did you see this and stuff like that. But today that wouldn't be possible. They're very strict with the materials and everything. So you share these moments with the technician, and
oh no, I sung wrong here in this lyrics. Whoops. I lost my voice.
Exactly. Everything can happen. And also, when you do different characters, the voice of different characters, you look so funny. Like you do these expressions. No one can see you. You're in a booth. No one can see you. In some studios, the technician can see you. And I have one memory of one technician. He was like, he interrupted and was like, I've been watching you doing this boy character now, and you're really ugly when you do him. I'm like, shut up! Don't say that. You're not supposed to watch me doing this. You're just supposed to listen. He was like, I just had to tell you, you look so funny doing that character. I'm like, don't look at me. So yeah,
that's a bit funny.
I'm ugly when I do voiceovers.
Apparently,
that's just how it is.
Hence why you're glad you're not showing your face while doing voiceover sometimes.
Best job ever. I don't act like beside the dubbing. Many people, my colleagues, they are actors. But I'm not. So I'm just so happy to go in a booth. No one can see me. I can just do my job, which I love, and yeah, that's about it. I hide from the world.
Yeah, exactly. So how does it affect you that everything has to be completed so fast in the industry? You know, sometimes you have to dub a series and only on 1 week or so. Yeah.
If that affects me?
Yeah, how does that affect your performance? Because you don't get any preparation when you go into the booth, right?
No, we don't. I never know which series or movie I'm supposed to do when I enter the studio. I actually, it might sound strange, but I love not getting any preparation. Maybe it's because I get performance anxiety by knowing what to do. So just like to go into the studio and be like a blank paper and be like, I don't know what to do. Just get me into it more easily. I just like dive in and go for it. So, and also not to be prepared. It makes the work like I can leave the work when I go home. I don't bring it home, which is so nice. Other works like project managing or sometimes like performing, you have to practice. You don't know if you practice enough until you're standing on stage. That can be stressful, but when it comes to dubbing, not being prepared for anything, you leave the work when you leave work, you know, when you leave the studio. I'm so used to move along quickly, so when I work with a director, it's more like I have to focus on slowing down. It's not like I'm so fast, but the industry it's like everything is moving on so quickly. You're right about that. So it's when I do like bigger movies, when we have directors, that's my challenge, to like slow down and listen to the line and just like feel the acting, more. I do my best. Don't get me wrong. I really do my best, but I think we're all affected on by this, that it's gonna be recorded in such short amount of time. I think the quality or my performance could be much better if the circumstances were different. But I mean, I still give it all, And the technicians are so good at not affecting me. They're not like they never tell me like this should be done by now. We have to like speed up now. They maybe they know that it's about to be done in a short amount of time, but it never affects me. I don't know what to say. They save me from that stress. We just work. I have my workflow and I'm so used to this now. So they maybe know like my line count and like Dominique will do this in this amount of time and it will be all right. But sometimes it doesn't and they don't blame me. So yeah. But if the circumstances were different, I think the quality could be much better, of course.
Of course. Because this is not only a problem in Swedish dubbing industry. It's like all dubbing industries in the world.
Worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, and those
fast food.
Yeah, fast food. Those I've talked to, they also said like, I wish we got more time for preparation and everything. Because. But
if you don't get preparation anxiety.
Yeah, exactly.
As me, I'm like, shit, I've heard this line now. I should be able to get it on first take, but I never do that. I always get the first take if I don't listen to it. It's crazy.
Oh, but do you...
Yeah.
So you usually
I never listen. Yeah, I never listen to the line before I do it, so I never know in what tonality or if it's gonna be screamed or laughed or anything. I just listen to it in for the first time I hear it, I also do the line. Yeah.
Oh, that's impressive.
Sometimes it goes really wrong. Why we can laugh a lot at different lines. Yeah. Circumstances. Yeah.
Do you do vocal warm up before you go into the booth?
No.
No.
I don't. I never do. I do this so often and on a daily basis. So I think my voice is like sometimes a few characters can be very tough, but it's enough to drink some water and I'll be fine actually. So now, yeah.
Can poor voice acting, like in the original version, can that affect how you deliver your line in Swedish?
It can be challenging at times, but we always work to make it as good as possible. I mean, we work and act so it matches the pictures as well as possible. So it's like a collaboration with the translator, I would say, we're given. And I know that they're working with very tight schedules and they have difficult circumstances as well. So I think like it's more challenging when when it's not translated in preferable way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you remember. It depends on, but Mermaid Magic does that. Yeah,
it rings a bell. Yeah,
rings a bell. So in the original, I was so surprised how emotionless the performance was. And I was
That
like,
happens.
who is the main character in the Swedish dub? What if it's better? And it was better, and you're the main character. So like,
Lovely, yeah.
And I was like, why does the original voice acting sound so poorly? And then I looked up. I think they have started to try out AI voices, and I was like,
That was my first thought.
no.
Yeah.
I was like, no, why?
Yeah, I've been doing a few productions lately. We are almost 100% sure that it's AI. And yeah, so that was like what I was starting. We try to make it as good as possible. We don't copy that tonality if we think it's effortless. We are like, and also like, oh, some things they say, like Winx Club. We were talking about Winx Club earlier. They can often talk about like food shaming, like body shaming, because it's so old, the series, and it wasn't something bad back in the day. People didn't see it that way, but like now when you say lines that doesn't affect the plot or anything, it's just like pointing out how you look. It's like, should you eat that? Like something like that. We change it. Like, that looks good. Yeah. So we try to, if we're allowed to. Some series we're not, but if we're allowed to, we can just like make some small adjustments so it's better. Better in our world, yeah.
But you took over the voice of Flora in season 5, according to the credit list.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but did you ever dub like background characters in season 1 to 4?
I don't think so. I was too young. I think they were released before I started dubbing. I think
2004 was the first season released, but it got released in Sweden in 2005, I think. 1 year after. But I thought the Swedish dub was way better than the English original.
That's good.
Yeah, but also because it's Italian originally, so the Italian performance was good.
Oh, it is?
It is.
I didn't know that.
No, but then because of, they have to dub it worldwide, they translate it into English, and then that's the original, to listen to. So I was like,
yeah, because I remember dubbing it. The what I heard in my headphones were English, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, the Italian dub is very good. And I was like, oh, it's the original, but why don't we use that? Because the English is so emotionless. And I was like, oh, bro.
Oh, I see. It varies. It's like, it's so different. Sometimes it's like they keep the Spanish, or they keep the Italian, they keep the Korean. But mostly we listen to the English one. Yeah.
But yeah, how did it feel to voice Flora? I don't know. It was a long time ago, but.
But I grew up watching. Not growing up, but I saw that. Like, I knew what Winx Club was as a series. And Flora was my favorite. So when they're like, "You're doing Flora," I'm like, "Oh, Flora, naturens fel." Like, I was so happy. It's a drama series. It was like, and a lot of songs as well. I know I sang a lot in that series as well, which was fun. And it was in my early state, like in the beginning when I started doing voiceovers. So I just enjoyed it. I loved to do her voice. Yeah.
I really hope that you will return as Flora in the reboot. It will come out next year.
I'm not allowed to say anything from this stage. I signed contracts. No, but I hope so.
Yep.
Yeah. As well.
The animation isn't done really, so I don't think they've started to dub it internationally.
Okay.
But
I see.
It will come out like in October, I think. So we'll see when you get to dub.
This year, October this year.
No, next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see. I will listen if it's you. Or if not, I will cry.
if it's not me, that person will do a great job.
It's
I'm sure about that.
nostalgia, you know.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, I took over someone else, so
me.
I don't know.
I think no.
You can rate down below who you like most. Like, no, I was kidding. I don't know how this works. I'm a boomer. You noticed that?
I don't know.
No, that's diplomatic. Oh well.
What is
We'll see.
the biggest difference between dubbing and doing voiceovers for commercial video games? And yeah, now you haven't performed on stage, but sort of.
Yeah. So I use my voice in all categories. But otherwise, aside from that, it's quite different. In dubbing, we have like a reference to mimic, and it's more about acting and improvisation more. And in commercials, I would say you create the tone and foundation yourself together with the clients who always have a vision. So, and when it comes to commercials, it's more about selling and being a product. And when it comes to video games, sometimes we work, often we work without like an image, a picture, and the recordings can vary from depending on the game, of course. That's a hard question. When I sing, I just sing. When I perform, it's my own song, so I'm completely myself. And yeah, doing what I feel like without anyone else's input. Yeah. So it's like that's like the differences, I think.
How free are you when you're doing Walla, recording Walla? Can you just say? I know you can't swear, but can you say like whatever, like
Yeah, that's my therapy session. So when it's like a long Walla part, I'm like, so today I met this guy and he was not nice. Like I could more or less say whatever. Of course, I want to match the picture. So if I'm in a school environment, I would probably talk about like, are you going to this class? Can you are you following me home today? Can we study together? Like talk about things that matches the environment. But otherwise I'm very free and it's really nice. We are not allowed to swear, like say bad words and religious words and stuff like that though. But I like Walla. Do people who listen know what Walla is? Is like do people know what Walla is?
Yeah, we talked about it in a different episode, so.
Okay.
Yeah. But
then you know.
Then we know.
Then you know. Yeah.
Do you think voice actors get enough recognition for the work they do?
To me, I don't think that's really a problem, like when it comes to recognition. Only that it's unfortunate when my name is so long, so they never like put me in like the records, like who I'm playing and stuff. It's like Dominique Pålsson Wiklund. So, and I never like gave that a thought. It's just unfortunate when information can get lost internally, like leading me being replaced in roles because the credit wasn't properly attributed or acknowledged, especially when projects are taken over by other studios. Like, yeah. So enough recognition. I mean, it's my livelihood, so I don't mind so much whether I get recognized for the work. I know I enjoy it, and I know what I've done and that I will continue to work at that level I do. So I think that's most important to me. But I mean, some of them want the recognition, and I get that. Like it's a big thing to play a fun role, but since I do it on a daily basis, I'm like, I just want to continue to do that, you know, and I don't care about the recognition. I'm like so happy that I'm able to be in this environment. Does that make sense?
Oh.
Yeah.
So why do you think people believe that only the original dub or version can be good, and that never the dub can, you know, come up to those standards?
Do we talk about Swedes? Because
Yeah,
I
mostly
can,
Swedes, but I know that in other
yeah.
countries also people don't like feel like the dubbing quality is that great.
I mean, the original it will always be the original. I get that. If it's not AI.
Exactly.
But many Swedes are so good in English. Not me though. Just kidding. But yeah, I'm working on it. But I mean, since we're so good at English, I think the language barrier isn't as much of an issue. Humor and tone don't become a problem when everyone is fluent, you know? So, but I think though, I think it's fantastic that there are dub material available for those who don't understand English or prefer to watch it in Swedish. So if kids are the audience that don't speak English, I think it's I think it's good that there are dub versions. Otherwise, yeah, I think it's because we're so good in English. Mm. And the original will always be the original. Like I'm thinking about the answer, so my eyes are wandering the room. I'm like, sorry, I don't know where to look.
I need a script
When I'm
here. Where is the script?
like that, yeah. I'm thinking as we speak, yeah.
Would you say that it's easier to break into the dubbing industry if you're a celebrity or born in a family who already dubs?
You know what? If you look at those who are dubbing today, many of them are in fact related to someone who already is in the industry. Um, but that doesn't make them less talented. If anything, I think I'd say that they've been trained since childhood, either by their parents or the environment. Um, I mean, there's a big demand for children, and if they're close at hand to those who already are working in the industry, it's an easier way in. Um, so in one way, I would say it's easier because it's there. Um, and you get exposed easily. Like, but it's sad though, because there's so many talented people out there and is so small. But yeah, unfortunately, I would say I didn't, and I knew what dubbing was through my mom and my brother, but it wasn't through them I got into it, which is interesting. And I started so late. I was doing one movie when I was younger, like since my mom was at the studio, and they were like, we need a kid. So I was doing Monsters Inc. So that was through my mom. But otherwise, it was a director who found me and brought me into the industry. So, and since I knew what it was, yeah, it was easier. It was easy to get into it, you know. I'm like, I know how to do this. I've been seeing my mom doing it. I know like where the screens are, how to read the script and everything. So, yeah. And what was the other
If
question?
you're a celebrity. Oh yeah.
Celebrity casting.
Is that a big problem? Does that prevent other voice actors from receiving their roles?
Yeah, absolutely. They do, but it's all about PR, and I don't think the dubbing industry is the only industry who struggles. You can see it in different ways, but if you see it as a struggle, the dubbing industry isn't the only one where it occurs. So, but that happens. That happens. I do the trailers mostly, and then they bring in a famous person to do the movie, which is sad. but I see why they do it. I'm a nobody. So it's not like I can post on my social media like, oh, I've been doing this movie. It will reach not many people, but so I see why they do it, and I see why, and that it prevents other voice actors from getting jobs. I can see that, but maybe it will like give a celebrity a chance to learn as well and find a fun job. I mean, it's the best job, so if they're happy, I'm happy. Like if they get into it and get really good at it, or if they are already really good at it, that's brilliant.
What are your thoughts?
Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. What are your thoughts on that? The Swedish dubbing industry primarily focusing for the younger audience, like dub shows. Yeah, would you like that the dubbing industry expand and we start to dub more 16 plus content, like Netflix did, you know, in a short period here?
Oh yeah. I know. Selfishly, yes, because it's so much fun doing or dubbing to dub live action. I love that. But as I said like before, we're so good in English in Sweden, so yeah, I understand why it isn't a bigger demand for it. I understand that, but selfishly, yes. I did a few series and movies. I don't remember the name of them, but I really enjoyed it.
Shadowhunters, anything?
A small part, but I wasn't a main character there. Yeah, but it's a little nervous, like to be able. You're not allowed to say bad words ever. So to do that, like if you feel almost like, oh, am I allowed to do this? Am I allowed to swear here? Or am I allowed to say these bad words? But you get into it. And then as you get into it, they take away all those productions, and then you have to go back to the under 16 series and movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a show I'm gonna show you now on the screen. It's called Hazbin Hotel. Have you heard about it?
Say that again.
Hazbin Hotel. Hazbin Hotel.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not. Maybe
Amazon Prime.
I don't have a TV and I never watch shows or anything. I read books.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but this is a very big show at the moment out worldwide, and it's crazy that some countries got to dub this because this show is animated but still for adults and has, like, Broadway music or singers and like So I'll show you a little bit about the tone.
Calling. Oh, hello, Charlie. Hey, Char. No, that's not good. Oh, this is the first time she's called you in years. This has to be perfect. Hey, bitch.
Hi, Dad.
But hug a koala for me.
OMG, can you imagine an actual koala? Ah! See you later.
Ah, I fucking got you. Did you fucking see that? Good shit.
There's a project I've been working on that I really want to talk to you about.
Hey, slow down. We got time. How about we get to know each other a little, How about some lunch? You hungry? I got you. Here's my personal favorite. You'll love it.
Thanks.
I got you again, bitch! Fucking hilarious!
That's effing hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my god. To be able to say words like that sometimes, because it emphasizes expressions in a way that we can ever do when we're not allowed to say words like that. Sometimes you really want to say those words. That's very refreshing. Can you say that? Refreshing when it comes to swear words? I'm so sorry. Do I have to press something here to get back to?
It depends on how I don't usually use Discord on.
No. I see you and I see your name like that. But you can still see me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Or not so good.
What's cool about this show is that it's so much represents a lot of heavy themes that don't usually get represented in media, I would say, like LGBTQ community.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
And also they casted like real Broadway actors, so it's a musical series, and it's so lovely.
I have to watch this.
Yes. And it's so lovely. You know, also the main character, Charlie Morningstar, she reminds me a lot of Rapunzel.
Oh
in
yeah,
energy
like
and like that. So, so I don't know. They might have gone like casted you if there was a Swedish dub, like the voice, like, because you know she sort of had almost like a Mandy Moore's register
tonality, like yeah,
and
the voice of her, yeah.
Exactly, but I would have loved to see a Swedish dub of this, but we won't get it.
We won't? No, do you know that for sure?
Yeah, because Sweden would never dub this kind of show.
No, they wouldn't. No. We only dub like children's shows.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. In this case, I would actually say unfortunately, I would love doing that voice, that character.
Exactly.
Wow.
I was like, instantly when I was thinking like, who could voice Charlie Morningstar? Oh, maybe Dominic or Molly Sunday. I don't know, because you are sort of her voice match, you know? And
I try to, though. I'm like, Molly is a totally different level. I'm just trying to get up there, but I see what you mean. Since I took over Rapunzel,
exactly,
stole it. I stole it.
And also, I don't, or probably you haven't watched the original Tangled the series, but he who voiced Lucifer, the first character, he's voiced by Jeremy Jordan. Do you know him? And he voiced Varian in the
Varian.
And I think since Anton Raeder Olofsson, is that his name?
Anton Raeder Olofsson, yeah.
Since he is usually the voice match for those kind of characters, I think they would have casted him as Lucifer. That would have been something.
Oh my god, that would be so. He's so talented. I would say like he's one of the best voice actors we have in Sweden. He can play so many different characters. He's amazing, actually.
When I watched the credits for Tangled, I was like, oh yeah, he voices Varian, and then like Lance as well. That's two completely different voices. And then
you see,
and then you voice the baby Lance or someone of the teenage characters of them. I think it was Lance.
Did I or him?
You did. You did the teenage voice.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I maybe I did. Oh my god, I'm so bad at remembering like characters I do. It's like, as I told you, like you go in, you do it, you like the hyper focus, and then you exit the studio, and then you don't remember anything. But then when you get back to that production, you're like, oh yeah, I remember. I know this one like that. I'm embarrassed that I feel, but it's so many productions. It's like so hard for me to remember. And my main focus in Rapunzel is like Rapunzel.
But that's totally fair. Like, we don't blame you.
Thank you.
Who do you
Spare me.
Who do you think would have voiced Adam in the Swedish dub? He had like, I can't describe how it sounds. But
gosh, I have to watch it again to. I'm so impressed by you and like your ear for this. You should work as a casting director, actually. I think you have a better answer to this than I do.
I can't.
Do you have anyone in mind?
His voice is kind of difficult because I don't usually hear someone in the Swedish dub use that voice. But
no,
there was someone in Carmen Sandiego.
I have to like listen to it again.
I can pick it up again. There was someone who voiced in Carmen Sandiego, and he played Devino, and he had like pretty similar voice match, I would say.
You know what? I can like come up with many people. I think like Niklas Berglund would do this one, like, and Jocke Tidemark.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there are many people that could like pull this off. Can I hear a little bit more? You'll love it. Oh my God. Okay, I see. I can hear. Let me think about this a little bit, and I'll get back to you regarding
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah, I could try to work as a caster as well, but it depends on how you get into that.
I mean, mostly the technicians are the one casting the productions. So since they're working with it later on, so it depends on which studio you're talking about now, of course. But mostly the technicians have people in mind, so they do the casting actually. So if you become a technician, you can cast as well.
Yes.
Ooh la la, yeah.
So, are there any voice actors, singers who particularly inspires you?
Obviously, my brother. But I think I get inspired by everyone. Everyone is so good at what they do. It's crazy. You can learn something from everyone. It's like you're constantly awake on like how people talk, and you copy expressions, and you live through it. You know, it was on a daily basis. Like I talk to people, I get inspired. I see the characters, I get inspired, and also my colleagues, super talented colleagues. And when I play, sometimes I forget to do my own work because I get so impressed by what I hear. I'm like, who's that? What is that? I want to hear that again. I'm like, you should do your work. You should dub now. Stop it, Dominique. I'm like, I want to listen to that again. Who's the singer? So I get inspired by everyone. When it comes to voice acting, and singers, when it comes to music and singers and artists, I get inspired by those who do their thing, who dare to be themselves and feel good in their creativity. That inspires me a lot.
Do you prefer to dub live action or animated shows?
Both.
Both.
But live action is live action often feels more like real acting, which I'm so curious about. I love that. I wouldn't say I'm an actress, but I love doing it. So that's the closest thing I can come to real acting, I think. But both are challenging and both are fun, so I can't choose.
Both. It's a good answer.
Both. Diplomatic.
Yeah. What types of character do you prefer to play the most? Like teenage boys, energetic characters, or kind or good, or perhaps evil villains, boastful characters?
You know what? It's easier to say what I don't like to play. I like to play everything. Don't get me wrong, but what I like the least is like evil villains, and you know what? It's because I get so affected when I feel so evil. I leave the studio and like I feel bad, and like when I have to say things that are evil, or like when I hurt someone, I'm like, I don't want to say this. This doesn't feel good at all. So that's like what I like the least, but I still like everything. I like the variation so much. So one day I could record so many series and so many characters in one episode. It's crazy. And I love that. It's like one moment I'm a boy, or the next one I'm a frog. The next moment I'm an old lady. It's like I love that. And but if I have to choose something I like a little bit less, it's the evil ones because I feel so bad.
How did you feel to play Toralei in Monster High?
Oh, that was like one of my first characters I did. It was harsh. I'm like, I don't feel like that. What I found most challenging with that character was the to sound like a cat. She was like, meh. And I felt so embarrassed. It was like the screaming thing I was talking about in the beginning. Like, oh, should I do this? I feel it's like cringe. I cringed. I'm like, oh, should I do this? And then Dominique was like, just do it. I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. And then I got used to that, and now I can sound like a cat in any room. Crazy. Yeah. So she was evil, but I just had to do it. She was like, wow, yeah.
So how do you keep your voice in shape when you have to sing a lot in dub? Because it can be quite demanding on your voice.
Can, and you're never allowed to choose key as well. I should do vocal warm up. You say that?
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't. I just like throw myself into it. I drink a lot of water, and that all helps me. And you don't like since I never get any preparation. I never know what the song is about to. I don't know like how the song is. So you take part by part. Like it I don't know how to explain it. You can do retakes. Yeah, you can do retakes. So if there's like a note that I don't get, I can just like take it over and over again. And eventually I warm up as we go. So, but I should do that more often. But I don't, because I never know what I'm about to do when I enter the studio. So it's impossible for me to prepare myself.
But do you sing like verse by verse, or do you take line by line when you record your songs? It's
so different. I would say that I sometimes do line by line for like simpler songs, and sometimes section by section or verse by verse. It really depends. I just like if the song is difficult, I have to do like take smaller parts. So it's like since I don't know what to do before I go in, I'm like, I don't know the song. I record, let's say line by line, and when I go out, I would never be able to re-sing the song. You see what I mean? That's unfortunate because lots of the songs are so fun, so good, and so catchy. But if I would meet you after a session and you would be like, "Oh, sing the song," I would never be able to do that. So yeah, it depends. Line by line, verse by verse, and if it's an easier song, I can like sing the whole one through. But yeah, that's the dark truth.
Yup. And since we know the schedules are very tight, and you don't get any preparation, sometimes the songs end out like they end up. Because in Tangled the series, I heard in season 2 that you almost lost your voice.
Oh, you heard that?
Yeah, like it's very noticeable. But I was like, oh, that's so sad because you have a wonderful voice, and it's so sad that you didn't get a day off so you could rest your voice and perform songs another day.
Yeah, it's important. We work towards deadlines, and I mean, I think the song, it was a duet when we were birds.
Yeah,
I was singing with Kajsa
in show a little bit.
Oh, you're gonna show it?
Oh,
because it's called Härnäst var som helst.
No, that's not the song. Okay.
Oh no.
I'll show it to you.
Oh yeah, do it. Is it the moment I was so hoarse? I could barely get any sound out.
Yeah. So the view from up here is the English title, and härifrån, I think it's the Swedish title. Song title.
Oh, interesting.
Life's been so, but she sings really high, Mandy Moore, and I'm so impressed that you hit those notes.
I don't know how I did it. I mean, when I'm sick, I get so like. It hit hard. So, okay, we're gonna watch it and see how bad it is. This is this song, right? Yeah. And you can hear me.
Jag vet inte. Nej, kom igen, Kajsa. Kolla här, det är lätt.
I'm like joddling. It's like, it's like yeah, that was crazy. We were struggling a lot with that song, but we had to record it because we're working towards deadlines. So that's unfortunate, but I did my best, and sometimes
you did.
Yeah. But it's so fun that like we can watch it over and over again. I'm like, I'm sorry about that one.
No, it's okay. Did you record it chronologically, the episodes?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Because, like, you can first hear, like, in the first song, Härnäs vad som helst. Like, you can still hear your voice is very straining and, like, I'm gonna lose my voice. But you struggle to sing that. I was like, is she sick or something? And then as we go onward in the series, you can hear, like, how the voice is almost, like, not...
I'm losing it.
Yeah,
I'm losing it, yeah. You have a good ear. But yeah. Also, when the like pre-summer, everyone's allergic and get like these ringing stuffed nose and everything, it hits my throat. So that time of year, I lose my voice. It's crazy. So my work depends on my voice. It's very not good. But I managed to record it, and yeah, we can laugh about it now afterwards.
Yeah, so you sang lower here. I can hear that.
Oh yeah, I think that was like, maybe it wasn't that in the original.
No, it wasn't. She sings really high in this part.
Oh yeah, I remember they were like, you can take the lower part and Kajsa will sing the higher notes. I'm like, thank you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to do it actually.
Yeah.
Well,
but that's
how fun to watch it. Is it on Disney Plus?
Yeah. Usually do that. So, but it got better in season 3, but probably because it got released a little later. I think.
Later, yeah. The recording period was like later on, yeah. Luckily, I recovered.
You did. But there were various different genres in the Tangled series, so it was fun to listen. Sing like ballads, love songs, and
up tempo and everything.
It was fun.
So much fun, yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of taking over roles, such as Rapunzel, which is a Disney princess. Did you ever feel pressured to taking over this major role from Molly Sandén?
Oh yes. She's like Sweden's best singer, according to me. And taking on a role and possibly like disappointing listeners because Rapunzel suddenly has a new voice. I mean, that's not fun. That's not fun at all.
You didn't disappoint. You delivered so well.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. But I mean, I understand that you can get. I mean, you connect with the characters, and you connect with the voice. It's so important. So when suddenly there's a new voice, you get like, what is this? And when you go from like someone like Molly to me, I wouldn't like. I'm not gonna speak badly about myself and my performance, but she's so good. And the way she's like how she sings and everything, I mean, she did the movies and you're so connected to her voice. So yeah, I felt the pressure. I really did. But I did my best. I'm happy. I'm so happy to be a Disney princess. It's like everyone wants to be a Disney princess in some way. I would love to do Milan, but I'm so happy with Rapunzel. I match her energy, I think.
Yes, you do.
I hit people with a pan. I was kidding.
Oh yeah, the fry pan, like boink.
Yeah.
And
boink.
I think you took over after episode 5, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember. Yeah, maybe something.
She dubbed like 3-4 episodes before you took over in the series. So I was.
You know this better than me.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I recognize this voice because first I think you tried to match more Molly, so you sounded a little bit different at first. And I was like, who is this? I was like, Dominique? Oh my god. Yeah. That was fun.
She's doomed. Just kidding. No, I'm happy about the takeover, but I respect everyone's opinion if they don't like it. But it is how it is, and Molly unfortunately couldn't continue doing it. So yeah, you have to do whatever that it takes. Yeah.
You also got to say one line for Rapunzel in Once Upon a Time Studio, I think, that, special.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That was cool.
I remember that. Yeah,
You're officially now the Swedish voice for Rapunzel in Sweden.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful for that.
What are your favorite songs from Tangled series?
Oh, I remember that every song was fun to record. It's the same here. I can't decide. But like when I think about the songs, I really remember this one you just showed us, since it was like a very special moment, me not having any voice. So when I think about the songs, if I could, I would re-sing it, re-record it.
Did you cover?
But we can. I could do a cover. I could do that. But when I think about the songs, I remember this one in particular. But I love all the songs. I like the variation, like the up-tempo, the ballades. Yeah, and the way she sings, and I'm just like, yeah, I love all of them.
I also love that. If I could take that moment back. Yeah, that. So I think.
Look at that voice.
Thank you. What was the Swedish title?
That was so nice. Tänk om jag kunde gå tillbaks. Just det. Oh, that song is so beautiful.
Yeah, it was as well.
Emotional.
Talking
about ballades and everything.
Yeah. Would you say, do you need to have musical skills to become a voice actor?
No, I wouldn't say it's necessary. But it's definitely an advantage, since many characters burst into a song, burst into singing. I mean, dubbing itself is kind of like singing with timing and tone. So if you have a musical ear, I would say it's easier for you. Or it might be easier to get the feel of the character and how to intonate and everything. So it's not necessary, but it's good if you can. And it's fun.
And since most of the time when you dub, it's in English, the original, but does it become more challenging if the original is in a different language? For example, Violetta, which was in Spanish, right?
Oh, I found Violetta really easy, actually. I don't know if it's like the Spanish is the melody, or if I know Spanish. Because what I find the hardest is like Korean or Japanese, or like, because I don't understand what they're saying. So it's really difficult to, I don't know where I am in the sentence when I don't understand the language. So that's a challenge. Talking about challenges. But since like I speak Spanish, it's easier with Spanish and languages like that. Yeah. I mean, the melody and language comprehension are key, I would say. So it depends on the language.
Yep. And because of that, we're gonna do a multilanguage quiz.
Oh my god! Are you gonna test my skills?
Yep.
Okay. I was just like, I speak Spanish, so I can't be wrong here.
You just gotta guess what language it is in.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am. Oh, I have to guess like now.
Or do you want to do it?
That was German. Yeah. I hear very like low, but I think it was German. It sounds like French. Oh no, it's Italian.
What is your guess?
Oh, it sounds like French, but it's not that. Dijon. I know, maybe it's Shit. I don't know. Shit, I feel so bad right now.
No, you can guess in the end. So if you
Okay, I guess in the end.
Yeah.
I have my... Yes. Sorry, guys. It's, it's so hard when you listen to a foreign language when they're singing because you're so used to the intonation,
Mm.
Oh, shit. Okay, next one. I just heard baby.
También puede ser que cambien si su vida intentan mejorar y salir del fuego infernal.
Spanish. Japanese. Italian. Hello? That was a... The first one was German, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess that one. And the next one, maybe it was... Now I don't remember. It's standing... Oh, maybe it's French.
Hmm?
I think... Maybe Greek? No, that's wrong. Shit. No, this is Greek.
Yeah.
That was Greek. I couldn't hear that like with the... yeah. But the one before... Gosh, I don't remember now. Japanese.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be one.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's Mandarin. Or not Mandarin, like Chinese.
No.
Fatta beslut som drottning, det är jag född till att göra. Visst, jag kan knappast allting, men ändå hur svårt kan det vara? Kom igen, jag är redo för jag klarat. Se här.
Okay, this is Italian. And the previous one is Portuguese.
Yep.
You helped me a lot. I suck at this game.
It's gonna be
I
interesting.
should be better. I have improvements to do.
Oh gosh, this is gonna be interesting to edit in post. But yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we gonna we can do it again? I can spot them. We can pretend that I'm guessing from the beginning.
Oh yeah,
I'm so good at this.
Okay. So, which dubbing roles are you particularly proud of and think will stay with you for life that you voiced? And are there any characters that have significantly, I can't speak English,
No, you're
contributed to your development as a voice actor?
I learn something every day. All the small roles I get to do are different, and I'm constantly challenged. I mean, and just being able to do them, that gives me practice. It gives me practice, which turns into skills. Oh my God, this is such a bad answer. I'm proud of every role I ever done because it has led me to where I am today. I learned so much from it, So I'm proud of all of them. And all of them are fun in different ways, if I'm not being too evil. But I mean, it's so fun that I am able to lend a voice to a Disney princess. I have to say that. Yeah. It's like a little... And also, yeah, a Disney princess. And all the characters I grew up in, like Smurfette and the Smurfs and Barba Mama, or, yeah, all of those, that makes me nostalgic, and that's a good feeling as well.
What is Barba Mama in English? The English name for?
It's a French series, so we dub from French, or sometimes English, as you were explaining earlier. I don't know. Barba Mama. Barba. I don't know.
Gotta
We
Google
have to
that,
Google it.
everyone.
Yeah,
Take a break.
task for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just here talking about voice acting industry, but you gotta do the search.
Exactly. Don't leave it up to us.
Dream role characters you would like to voice, mainly already existing, but also like future characters.
Oh, I mentioned one. Mulan would be fun, but she already has a talented voice doing her. Maybe taking over Minnie Mouse after my mom.
Ah, do you have a very close?
Full time. Yeah. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Like Minnie Mouse in Generations.
We'll see in the future if you become Mimi Mouse. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Let me audition, please.
Yeah. Mom, can you retire faster?
Mom, please. Give me the job.
Exactly. What are your best tips for aspiring songwriters, singers, and voice actors?
Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself and trust that you can do it. And be open to learning new things. And also, as long as you're having fun and feeling good about what you do, you're on the right path, actually. So that's my advice.
So good. Thank you, Dominique, for participating in this interview. It was such a lovely time.
Thank you. I enjoyed every second of it. I hope my English is good enough for you to understand. And thank you for having me.
Thank you. And do you have any exciting projects you want to promote here?
Dubbing-wise, I'm not allowed to say, but I have... Oh, gosh, I'm so excited about one thing. You will know eventually. Releasing a new song in... November 1st. So I'm excited for that. Otherwise, I will just continue doing what I do.
Yes.
Stay tuned. Or whatever you say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.